I did the most basic form of inquiry. Are you from here?
Yeah.
And I left with this giant golden nugget of information.
Roll it out.
There we go. So we've talked about the town, my favorite town of Bellevue, Texas, on this show. I think we had somebody comment even something. I don't remember what they said.
Yeah.
And it's between where I live in DFW and here, Lawton. Not halfway. It's not like even a super convenient point. You know, it's a little too early in the trip to be stopping on a 2.5 hour trip.
Yeah.
But I'm stopping either way. It's this tiny little town. If you blink, you'll miss it. Population like 250.
Yep.
And I stop every time I go through there. And so I stopped at this little convenient mart, like I always do. Go pee, get a snack. And I've told you it's like something out of a movie, like an old Texas, like I
have no recollection of sound. I drive the exact same way back that he goes to come here. I want to make it clear, this town does not register for me. I walk right or drive right past it.
I pull up to the little, it's more like a convenience store. It's not really a mart. And the sun's setting, it's really scenic, you know. I'm walking up to the front door. There's this old lady coming out with her crawler and her bag of goods. And I open the door for her and she's like, well, thank you, sugar. You know, and it goes on past. I walk into the store, well, howdy, partner, you know, from the guy behind the counter. Yeah. And there's this guy over here and you got cowboy hats on the wall. And I'm like, this place is just magical. Magical.
Just out of time.
And so I get all my stuff, go to the front, and it's the same guy who's always there every time I recognize him.
Yeah.
So I decide, let me strike up a conversation this time. And I just asked him if he's from there. And he said, no, I'm from another small town, but my dad's owned this store since 97, which was already pretty, like, it's a little store. That's a long time for a business to, like, survive through everything that's happened.
Yeah.
And so I asked him, or tell him, like, I'm just really fascinated with this town. And he said, well, here's something for you. And he said, up yonder, there's a rhino farm. And he...
Doesn't make any sense, man.
A rhino farm. And he said, and the talk of the town is... and I almost fell over right there.
What?
The talk of the town. I couldn't comprehend, like, the first two sentences out of his... Rhino farm, talk of the town. I'm intrigued at this point. And he said there was a sheriff or one of the police officers, I guess, drove on the land. He wanted to go see the rhinos, apparently, which he wasn't supposed to be on there. Now, to be clear, apparently this rhino farm is legal. Everybody knows it's there. It's not some, like, secret operation or anything. He gets out of his car. He's standing like 10 feet face to face with a rhino. And then another rhino comes up and smashes the side of his squad car. And so this guy is like, so there's a police cruiser cruising around our town with a giant rhino dent in the side of it. And I'm just floored at I'm like, and then to go a little bit further, he said the police force is wanting the rhino farm to pay for the damages. The rhino farm is saying you weren't supposed to be on there anyway. So there's this.
A whole saga.
It's a whole scuttlebutt in this little tiny town. That's more interesting than like anything I've had going on.
It's so funny because you have over and over again mentioned your interest in this town, and the fact that you literally took a garden spade and just lifted the tiniest amount of dirt and found a rhino farm and a dispute with the rhino farm and the sheriff's department is so crazy.
I did the most basic form of inquiry. Are you from here?
Yeah.
And I left with this giant golden nugget of information. And so I drove through the town. There's one main road that passes through. I wanted to take a cruise through there and just see what was going on. Couple observations. No paved roads.
No paved roads.
This is a dirt road little town.
No lights, you said.
No stoplights. No lights. Yeah. Like in general, it's getting dark.
Yeah.
And so I'm driving through and I found the school doesn't have a parking lot. Their parking lot is the ditch that goes off the side of the road. And there was about 100 F-250s, just, just like trucks that are parked there. Nobody, no people. Must have been something going on with the school, but it was a really there's obviously people here.
Yeah.
I don't see any of them. Like a really weird kind of eerie feeling to it.
I wonder if half the town knew you were there even. They were probably oh, there's a guy dropping through asking about the rhino farm
people
again.
Peering through their blinds.
Yeah. Did you hear?
I was like, man, this would be the worst place ever for a car to break down or something. So I got it.
Or
out
maybe
of there,
the best place. I don't know.
I told Josh I want to be like those podcasts that go uncover these little towns and just do a week of journalism and talk to random people. I would love to do that in this town.
We gotta go at this point. We gotta line out some time to go down to Bellevue, Texas, and like talk to at least 5 people.
If that was any indication of what's going on there, there's quite the story to be lifted.
Yeah, there's got to be way more to that town than Rhino Farms, which is crazy. Like as soon as you said Rhino Farm, I was like, huh?
I told him, hold on, I need to catch up here.
Yeah, take this in one thing at a time.